European Union Election Observer Mission Chief Evers Eabs called on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus. EC reviews law and order situation with chiefs of 16 agencies, including representative of armed forces, directives to field administration to play an effective role. EC resolved 71 appeal applications today against returning officers' decisions on acceptance and cancellation of candidature. 58 granted, 7 rejected, and 6 withheld. First day hearings against Shajib Wajid Joy and Zunaid Ahmed Polok in a case of internet shutdown concludes today. Next hearing on January 15th. The Information and Broadcasting Advisor urges people to cast yes vote to shift state power from ruling elites to common people. Pro-government activists take to Iranian city streets. Revolutionary Guards claim to have arrested a foreign spy. In Sylhet BPL cricket, Rajshahi Warriors defeats Rangpur Riders by 7 wickets in first match of the day. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Musat Nazib welcoming you to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines. Now we move on to the news in details. Chief Observer of the European Union Election Observation Mission and member of the European Parliament, Evers Eabs, met with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus. The meeting was held at the State Guest House, Jamuna today. During the meeting, they discussed preparations for the upcoming parliamentary elections, level playing field, and referendums. During the meeting, Evers Eabs said that the EU will send a large election observation team to monitor the upcoming national elections in Bangladesh. He said that this election will be a historic election in the context of the mass uprising. Noting that the European Union did not send any election observation teams to the last 3 national elections, Evers Eabs said that the previous 3 parliamentary elections were not credible. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus said the interim government is determined to make the next national parliamentary elections free, fair, and impartial. The Chief Advisor said that the level playing field will be ensured for all parties in the upcoming elections. Later, Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said this at a briefing to journalists at the Foreign Service Academy.
প্রথমেই উনি বলেছেন যে ইউ একটা বড় ইলেকশন অবজারভার টিম পাঠাচ্ছে কারণ বাংলাদেশে জন্য এই আসন্ন ইলেকশনটা হবে হিস্টোরিক। তাদের মতে এটা খুবই একটা হিস্টোরিক ইলেকশন। আপনারা জানেন যে ইউরোপিয়ান ইউনিয়ন অনেক দেশেই কিন্তু তারা ইলেকশন অবজারভার টিম পাঠায় না, কিন্তু বাংলাদেশে পাঠাচ্ছে বিকজ বাংলাদেশের সাথে তাদের একটা বড় একটা ট্রেড পার্টনারশিপ আছে, বাংলাদেশের একটা বড় জনগোষ্ঠী এবং তারা বাংলাদেশকে তাদের একজন ক্লোজ ফ্রেন্ড হিসাবে বিবেচনা করে। আর পুরো শেখ হাসিনার আমলে প্রায় 16 বছরে একবারের জন্য ওরা কোনো ইলেকশন অবজারভার টিম পাঠায়নি। আইভার্স ইজাব বলেছেন যে উনি সর্বত্র পজিটিভ ফিলিং এনথুসিয়াজম দেখছেন, কারণ হিসেবে উনি বলেছেন আগের 3টি পার্লামেন্টারি ইলেকশন ক্রেডিবল হয়নি। উনি ইলেকশন প্রিপারেশন লেভেল প্লেইং ফিল্ড বিষয়ে জানতে চেয়েছেন। আইভার্স ইজাব আবার বলেছেন যে ইলেকশন অফ মিশন, তাদের যে ইলেকশন অবজারভার যে মিশন, এটা এখন দেশের সর্বত্র ছড়িয়ে পড়বে, ওরা সব জায়গাগুলোকে মনিটর করবে। তারা ইলেকশন বড় বড় পলিটিক্যাল পার্টির সাথে কথা বলবে, অন্যান্য স্টেক হোল্ডারদের সাথে কথা বলবে। ইয়েস ভোটের বিষয়ে চিফ অ্যাডভাইজার বলেছেন যে ইন্টিরিম গভর্নমেন্ট ইয়েস ভোটের জন্য ক্যাম্পেইন করবে এবং করছে এবং এর বিষয়ে অ্যাওয়ারনেস বিল্ড আপ করবে। এ বিষয়ে ইন্টিরিম গভর্নমেন্ট লিগাল অপিনিয়ন নিয়েছিল এবং এ বিষয়ে টপ লিগাল এক্সপার্টরা লিখিতভাবে জানিয়েছেন যে ইন্টিরিম গভর্নমেন্ট ইয়েস ভোট চাইতে পারে, এ বিষয়ে কোনো লিগাল প্রতিবন্ধকতা নাই। দৃষ্টি প্রতিবন্ধীদের জন্য প্রণীত হয়েছে পাবলিক ও শ্রেণী পরীক্ষায় শ্রুতি লেখকের সেবা গ্রহণ সংক্রান্ত নীতিমালা 2025। তো এটা কেন ইম্পর্টেন্ট? এটা এই জন্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট, আগে যেটা ছিল সেটা কোনো সত্যিকার এক একটা বোর্ড এক এক রকম নিয়মে চলতো, ফলে একটা সেন্ট্রালি স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজড কোনো একটা সিস্টেম ছিল না এবং এতে অনেকের পরীক্ষায় অনেকে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হতেন। তো এই এটাকে সামনে রেখে এই বছর যেটা উনি যেটা করেছেন যে এটার একটা পুরো সবাইকে এনে যারা এটার ব্যাপারে এক্সপার্ট, এখানে কত সময় লাগে পুরোটাকে নিয়ে একটা স্ট্যান্ডার্ড একটা নীতিমালা করা হয়েছে।
EU election observer chief Ivers Iyab today said that it would be important for Bangladesh to conduct the upcoming election in a peaceful, credible and transparent manner. He said at a media briefing in Dhaka today. He hoped that the EU observer team's work will also contribute to public confidence and trust in the electoral process. In response to an invitation by the authorities of Bangladesh, the European Union has deployed an election observation mission for the parliamentary elections scheduled for 12 February 2026. The mission, led by Iyabs, a member of the European Parliament from Latvia, began its activities in late December 2025 and is scaling up with the arrival of 56 long-term observers. The long-term observers will be deployed across all 64 districts of Bangladesh, marking the first fully fledged EU election observation mission in the country since 2008. The chief observer said the mission would engage with election administration, political parties, judiciary, civil society and media to observe and analyze key aspects of the electoral process, including election preparations, the legal framework and its implementation, campaign conduct and electoral dispute resolution. He said the EU EOM would also assess the overall space for political and civic participation, including for women, youth and other vulnerable groups. Resounding to a question, he said the EU believes that Bangladesh is capable to hold a participatory, credible and fair election. At full strength, the mission will compose around 200 observers from all 27 EU member states, as well as Canada, Norway and Switzerland. The wife of late Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and head of Foundation for Encouragement of Social Contribution, Aki Abe, met with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus. The meeting was held at the State Guest House, Jamuna today. During the meeting, the Chief Advisor reminisced about his relationship with Shinzo Abe and discussed Dr. Yunus's plans after the election. At that time, the Chief Advisor said that after the election, he wants to work on 3 issues: digital healthcare development, youth development and 3 zeros. Later, Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary Azad Mojumdar briefed the journalist about the meeting at the Foreign Service Academy.
Aki Abe, উনি হচ্ছেন জাপানের প্রয়াত প্রধানমন্ত্রী শিনজো আবে, তার স্ত্রী। উনি একটা প্রতিনিধি দলকে নেতৃত্ব দিচ্ছেন এই মুহূর্তে বাংলাদেশে, এবং এনকারেজমেন্ট অফ সোশ্যাল কন্ট্রিবিউশন নামে একটা ফাউন্ডেশন, এই ফাউন্ডেশনের কাজে উনি বাংলাদেশে এসেছেন। উনি আজকে মাননীয় প্রধান উপদেষ্টার সাথে দেখা করেছেন এবং ওনার স্বামীর সাথে মাননীয় প্রধান উপদেষ্টার খুবই আন্তরিক সম্পর্ক ছিল এবং তাদের সম্পর্কে স্মৃতিচারণ করেছেন। এবং উনি আসলে আজকে আমাদের প্রধান উপদেষ্টার কাছে আসলে জানতে চেয়েছিলেন যে নির্বাচন পরবর্তী আসলে উনি সময়ে কিভাবে কাজ করবেন বা ওনার পরিকল্পনা সম্পর্কে। আমাদের প্রধান উপদেষ্টা ওনাকে জানিয়েছেন যে উনি মূলত 3টা বিষয়ে ফোকাস করে নির্বাচন পরবর্তী সময় ওনার কাজ করবেন। ডিজিটাল হেলথ কেয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্টের বিষয়ে কাজ করবেন, যাতে করে আমাদের দেশের নারী বা আমাদের যে ভালনারেবল গোষ্ঠী যারা আছে তাদের হেলথ কেয়ার সিস্টেমের মধ্যে তাদের অ্যাক্সেসটা বাড়ে। ইউথ ডেভেলপমেন্ট, তরুণ উদ্যোক্তা তৈরির কাজ, যেটা উনি আগ্রহ করছেন এটাও করবেন, এবং 3-0 নিয়ে ওনার যে কাজ ছিল সেই কাজটা উনি কন্টিনিউ করবেন।
Chief Advisor Senior Assistant Press Secretary Faiz Ahmed on law and order situation has urged everyone to play a responsible role in maintaining the existing communal harmony in the country.
সাম্প্রতিক সময়ে কিছু ঘটনায় একটু উদ্বেগের সঙ্গে খেয়াল করা যায়, কিছু অপপ্রচারের ফলে সাম্প্রদায়িক যে সম্প্রীতি সেটার বিনষ্টের মতো ঘটনার কেউ চেষ্টা করেন বা কেউ প্রভোকেটেড হন। তা আমরা প্রত্যাশা করব কোনো ঘটনায় যদি ওনাদের উদ্বেগ তৈরি হয়, মিথ্যা বা বানোয়ার তথ্যের ভিত্তিতে সেগুলিতে প্রভাবিত না হয়ে বিবৃতি দেওয়ার আগে একটু যাচাই বাছাই করবেন, এবং প্রয়োজনে তারা সরজমিনে ভিজিট করবেন, সেখানে কোনো সাম্প্রদায়িক ইস্যু আছে কিনা সেটা দেখবেন। আদারওয়াইজ ওনাদের এই ধরনের বিবৃতি বা মিথ্যা তথ্য যখন দুটো মিলে এক জায়গায় দাঁড়ায়, এটা আমাদের যে সোশ্যাল যে সাম্প্রদায়িক যে হারমোনিটা এটা বিনষ্টের ক্ষেত্রে বড় ভূমিকা রাখতে পারে। এই জায়গায় প্রত্যেকেই সতর্ক এবং দায়িত্বশীল ভূমিকা রাখার জন্য সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে অনুরোধ করা যাচ্ছে।
The Election Commission today held a law and order coordination meeting with 16 divisions and agencies, including the armed forces, ahead of the upcoming 13th Jatiyo সংসদ election and the referendum. The meeting began at 9 a.m. at the conference room of the Election Commission at Agargaon in the capital, with Election Commissioner Brigadier General retired Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah in the chair. Directors General, Principal Staff Officers and representatives of various law enforcement and security agencies attended the meeting, including Border Guard Bangladesh, Coast Guard, Police, Ansar and Village Defence Force, National Security Intelligence, Directorate General of Forces Intelligence DGFI, National Telecommunication Monitoring Center and Rapid Action Battalion RAB, along with the others. During the meeting, Election Commissioner Brigadier General retired Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah directed the field administration to play a strong role in preventing any kind of violence related to the upcoming polls. On the second day of hearings for appeals filed against the decisions of the returning officer in the 13th parliamentary election, 71 cases were disposed of. Among them, 58 candidates were approved, 7 were cancelled and 8 are pending. Director Public Relations of Election Commission Secretariat Ruhul Amin Mullik made the disclosure after the appeal hearing at Agargaon Nirbachan Bhavan Auditorium in the capital today. People concerned, including Senior Secretary of EC, Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin, and 4 election commissioners took part in the appeal hearing held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Earlier, on the first day of January 10th, hearing of 70 appeals took place. Of them, 52 was approved, while 15 others cancelled. Despite 3 appeals were pending, the EC has approved the appeal of an independent candidate of Munshiganj 3 today. Appeal hearing will continue till January 18th. The prosecution will soon file an application seeking a date for the hearing of an appeal to enhance the sentence to the death penalty in a case of crimes against humanity against ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal. Prosecutor Ghazi M.H. Tamim disclosed the information today. Meanwhile, in connection with the July mass uprising, the International Crimes Tribunal has set 15 January for the next hearing on charge framing in a case against Sajib Wajid Joy, son of the ousted Prime Minister and former State Minister for ICT Junaid Ahmed Polok. The case includes 3 specific charges, including ordering to kill and shutting down the internet during the uprising. International Crimes Tribunal 1, led by Justice Gholam Murtaza Mujumdar, fixed the date after the first day of the hearing. Earlier, the hearing scheduled for 7th January was deferred to today. Previously, despite notices published in newspapers, Joy failed to appear before the tribunal. As a result, on 17 December, Tribunal 1 appointed a lawyer to represent him, declaring Joy absconding. Advocate Munzur Alam has been appointed to defend Joy at government expense. On 4th December, Tribunal 1 took the charges into cognizance against Sajib Wajid Joy and Junaid Ahmed Polok. Speaking to reporters, Prosecutor Ghazi M.H. Tamim said the accused deliberately shut down the internet as part of a planned move to suppress the torture students and the public. In a separate development at Tribunal 2, defense witness examination took place in a case involving the killing of 7 people, including the burning of 6 bodies in Ashulia. The hearing was held today at the tribunal led by Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry. Earlier in the morning, 12 arrested accused, including Polok, were produced before the tribunals in connection with the ongoing cases. Chief Advisor Special Assistant Professor Ali Riaz has said this referendum is aimed to determine what the future of Bangladesh will look like. He said this today at the Divisional Imam Conference organized by Divisional Administration and Islamic Foundation. The program was organized today at Borishal Bells Park as part of the countrywide campaign for referendum. Borishal Divisional Commissioner Mohammad Mahfuzur Rahman presided over the conference. Chief Advisor Special Assistant Monir Haider and Religious Affairs Secretary Muhammad Kamaluddin attended the program as special guests. The conference was organized with the Imams of Borishal Division on the first day of the View Exchange program with the divisional and district level stakeholders as part of the campaign of Referendum and Enlighten the Voters. More than 1,200 Imams of different districts of Borishal Division took part in the conference. Speaking at the program, Chief Coordinator of Government's campaign for the upcoming referendum, Professor Ali Ria said, the people of the country are the real owner of Bangladesh achieved through massive struggle. He mentioned that the path of future Bangladesh will be shaped through referendum. In the coming days, everyone must take advantage of this opportunity to determine through this popular vote that how the elected representatives will run the country, he added. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan visited the Bangladesh Film Development Corporation, BFDC. In the afternoon, she inspected various activities at the BFDC premises in Tejgaon, Dhaka. Mahabuba Farzana, Secretary of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, was present at that time. The Managing Director of the institution, Masuma Rahman Tani, briefed the advisor on the various activities and facilities of BFDC. After the inspection, the information advisor inaugurated the BFDC's online schedule management system. At that time, Information and Broadcasting Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan also provided instructions to the officials regarding the implementation of the Kobirpur Film City project and measures to enhance the institution's facilities. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan has called upon voters to cast their ballots in favor of reform in the referendum in order to transfer state power from the ruling elite to the people. She made the call today at the DNCC auditorium during the Nagorik Podok 2025 ceremony. Referring to various forms of intimidation aimed at discouraging voters from participating in the vote, the advisor said that inspired by the spirit of the July movement, people must overcome fear and go to the polling centers to vote. At the event, the keynote paper was presented by Professor Salimullah Khan, while the session was chaired by Mohammad Ijaz, Administrator of Dhaka North City Corporation. At the same program, local government advisor Adilur Rahman Khan urged citizens to take a stand in favor of the referendum if they do not wish to return to the days of enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, torture and secret detention centers known as Ainakor. Adilur Rahman Khan also remarked that Bangladesh will no longer bow to hegemony. In recognition of civic responsibility and contributions to urban development, the Nagorik Podok was presented to 10 individuals in 8 categories this year. There is widespread enthusiasm among new voters surrounding the upcoming referendum and parliamentary election. People from all walks of life, including athletes, social workers, environmental activists, business people, lawyers, and students, are now waiting with the hope that the upcoming 13th national parliamentary election will be held in a fair and peaceful environment with inclusive participation. First-time voters are seen discussing the referendum and the election in between practice sessions on the field. Coaches also said that the election buzz has reached the sports grounds and the athletes are conscious and aware of the upcoming election and referendum. This election enthusiasm is not limited to sports fields. Environmental activists, social workers, lawyers, and students are also showing keen interest in the forthcoming vote. Flower traders at Shahabag are likewise awaiting for a fair and smooth election. Hopes and election enthusiasm have gripped thousands of citizens in Manikganj. The kaleidoscopic district enthralls visitors with its unique historic architectural beauty, serpentine rivers, and lush greenery. The common people of this picturesque land are deeply engaged in election discourse, and most conversations revolve around the upcoming general election. Although the formal election campaign is yet to begin, people from the city center to the farthest nooks and corners of villages are discussing who may emerge as winners in the forthcoming polls. Many are engaged in threadbare analysis of political cross-currents. Some voters are willing to take lessons from previous experiences, while young voters are eager to bring change and leave transparent footprints in the upcoming polls. Additional interest has been visible regarding the upcoming referendum, which will run parallel to the general elections. Different shades of arguments and debates are evident in the public domain. From tea stalls to village markets, election-centric discussions are widespread. Observers noted that the upcoming polls and referendum are expected to strengthen democratic institutions, and voters are likely to play responsible roles during poll time. Now, international news.